I was asked to do a commission for a carving for a little girl's room that said Rosa's room and had a flower and a butterfly carved into it. So I went ahead and got a piece of oak, cut it off, started planing it down. It's going to magically turn into half the size in a second because I cut it in half with my frame saw and I forgot to record it. So any second now we're going to see it turn it into half its size, but it planes up really nicely. There you go, it's suddenly half its size. So I printed the letters off. Times New Roman always seems to be a really good font for carving. It's one of the most boring fonts you can use in a kind of document, but when you come to carving, Times New Roman is an amazing font for carving. It looks incredible. So I'm just using a bench chisel there just to mark off the straight lines. The same there. With the curved lines I have a selection of gouges. I don't really have carving chisels as such, but rather just chisels I've acquired over time from eBay mostly. Some like car boot sales or flea markets you might call them. And I've just gone along doing it like that. Using a gouge there and a really cheap little chisel knife thing there to do the inside of the curves. But most of my carving, especially the straight lines like we've got there and like you can see on the lower parts of the M, it's done with bench chisels, so anyone can do that kind of carving. Then I just traced on the pattern of the flower and the butterfly that I drew up on the computer earlier. And using another one of these little knives that I got in this set, really cheap, these things. I think they were like £10 for 12. Those little, the really little tools you see are the really cheap ones. They're not great, but in a bind, it's quite a good thing to have. And I got this marbles chisel on eBay. There was a set of about 6 for 40 something pounds, I think. And they have been invaluable when it comes to carving, especially this particular one. It's kind of a very shallow gouge, it's amazing. I kind of just felt my way around carving this rose and the butterfly. I just carved the lines on the kind of stop cuts with that little knife, and then I just used a selection of gouges and things just to kind of give it more of a 3D effect, make it more interesting. You know, it's going on a little girl's room. I wanted to be able to look at it and maybe, you know, put our hands on it and feel the little lumps and bumps and things. It might be nice to have more of that kind of 3D effect in there for that kind of thing. I added a chamfer around the sides. I tried to get around all the sides here for the end. 3 big chamfers on the face and the 2 sides, and then a small chamfer on the back, which meant I could then take my block plane and do what I'm doing now, which is clean off the end grain without worrying about it splitting out because the chamfer's on the sides. And I used one of the Japanese chisels I got from Lemongrass Picker, great YouTuber. And making a chamfer down the side there with it rather than the plane because I'm trying to avoid hitting the carving that I made before. And that's how it turned out in the end before the oil. So I'm going to put some Danish oil on it, but you can see all the lettering done there. I've got some Danish oil on it, which is my preferred finish. If you've seen any of my videos, you know I like doing Danish oil. It's one of my favourite finishes. It really brings out oak so nicely. It makes it kind of honey, like you see there, sort of kind of honey colour. It's really nice. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Probably got some more carving and stuff coming up soon. Thanks a lot for watching.